afternoon and good evening to all. Myself Vaibhav. I welcome all of you to today's session of Market Movers, in which we will be considering the trading opportunities in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The Dow Jones Industrial Average went on to form a new peak this week, about 35,500. Immediately after that, we saw that it went into a correction mode with a decline close to 35,000. It has recovered some of those losses, and after that it has been trading in a narrow range. Looking at the struggles to hold steady above the 35,500 after formation of the new high, I think the Dow Jones Industrial Average might have run its course in near term, and we can start looking for scalping opportunities with the help of key technical levels, which I will be pointing out to you in this session of Market Movers. On the data docket, we had multiple economic releases for the UK, which are pointing to the improvement in economy while inflation is moderating. We will not go into the details of those numbers. For euro area, the inflation has inched higher in terms of year on year. It is up by 2.2%. But at the same time, if we consider it in terms of month on month, it is lower by 0.1%, and this differential can be attributed to the difference in base effect. The year-on-year numbers are a lot higher, partly because of the low base effect due to the COVID pandemic, which was hampering the economic activity in the August of 2020, and some of the contribution in moderation in terms of month on month is coming in from the non-energy, non-food items, which are seeing some cooling off in the prices. Moving on to the North American trading session, the US housing starts have dipped by 7% in terms of month on month for the month of July, with a rise in construction cost and higher home prices causing an adverse impact. At the same time, the building permits issued are up by 2.6% in terms of month on month. On the commodity side, the USWTI crude oil inventories saw a decline of 3.234 million barrels for the week ended 13th of August. However, it failed to cheer up the crude oil prices, which actually declined more than 1% immediately after the release of these inventory data. Now let's shift gears and we will consider the technical sides of these financial instruments under consideration. We will take a look on the Dow Jones Industrial Average first, which will be followed by the technical analysis for the USDJPY. Let's start the technicals with the Dow Jones Industrial Average. This is the daily time frame chart, and this peak I was talking about formed closer to the 35,600. If we look at the larger picture for the Dow, it has been climbing up for many years now, and in recent past it hasn't declined much. If we overlook these corrections of around 3 to 4 percentage point, the move has been kind of upsided, one-sided, and bulls have been totally in control. And even this time around, I'm not really saying that the turnaround is happening, and we can't be sure about that. But in near term, the possibility is emerging that the Dow has now picked up, and for this week at least, we can expect it to remain in consolidation phase with a dip below 35,000, quite a possibility. So we will be looking to capitalize on this emerging scenario, and we will be looking basically for scalping opportunities, not big swing trades here. On the lower time frame chart, the reversal is there after the Dow went on to touch this first resistance of this month's pivot point series. It consolidated closer to this level, and after failing to rise and sustain above this key level, key resistance, the Dow has reversed course, and it looks likely that we might see the Dow reverting back toward these prior consolidation lows established just little below 35,000. So we have this opportunity, this possibility of dipping almost close to 1 percentage point from the current levels. For the day, the Dow has consolidated closer to the 35,300 level, and I think we can try to get involved in this price band while keeping the stop loss just little above immediate swing high, and we can expect this correction phase to extend, and we can expect a move toward these prior swing lows and even the central pivot point level, which is there around 34,700, can be retested by the Dow. So we will be looking to initiate the trade when we feel that the time is appropriate. The trading entry is going to be optimum enough. We have these three SMAs converging closer to the 35,300. We saw that the Dow has now gone on to decline below these 200 SMA, and that indicates that fatigue is setting in, and we can expect this correction to last at least for next couple of days. And in that scenario, we can utilize these SMAs which are converging closer to 35,400. These 50 and 100 SMAs can be utilized as the decisive marker. We can keep our stop loss just little above these 100 SMA. So for any entry anywhere closer to this 200 SMA, the stop loss around 35,500 or little below that should be fine. So we have to take the risk of around half a percentage point, and for that risk we will be targeting almost 1 percentage move on the lower side. So that is going to get us the risk reward ratio of 1 is to 2. And if we consider the price action, we have this formation of a lower low. Of course, the lower high is yet to be formed. We can't really say this is the lower high. I think we can expect the Dow to consolidate, and in course of time, if it doesn't really go on to cross again above this central pivot point, we can be fairly confident that this will be the resistance zone, and we will see a new dip on the lower side from the Dow. Now let's see what's happening in the currency space. We have the USDJPY consolidating in this narrow range of around 200 points in between the 108 and 111 level. This time around also the USDJPY moved sharply first on the lower side, and then these gains counting from 109 to now almost close to 110 have been equally sharp. And I think this is simply a consolidation phase on the daily time frame. If we look at the same chart on the lower time frame, we will see big moves. But if we consider it in terms of this prior formation, the immediate support, and this time around the high was higher than the prior swing high. So we can say that we have the formation of a higher high. And now that this low is also shaping up well, we have this upward momentum in today's session. So we can say we have both the requirements of a bullish momentum, confirming the bullish momentum with this formation of a higher high and higher low. So in near term, we can shift our outlook to bullish side now, and I am expecting the USDJPY to cross and hold above 110, and in course of time it can even try to get back closer to this prior swing high. The move towards 111 can be expected in coming sessions. So for that, we will have to wait for the USDJPY to cross and sustain above this central pivot point. On the regression curve, we have this formation which is pointing to the conducive environment, and this is simply because of the formation of higher high and higher low. But at the same time, we have to be mindful that we have the price action taking place in the bearish side of this pivot point series. Even on the regression curve, the price action is happening in the lower band, so we have to be cautious here. And I think the immediate marker, the immediate price area of interest is going to be around this 109.5 to 109.6 price band. The day's low was important, and moving forward also we can continue to rely on this price area to provide us the decisive levels on which or above which we can think about the new entries, and that is going to get our risk reward ratio also in a pretty good shape, and we can expect the first move towards central pivot point just little below 110.2, and there we can expect that the USDJPY might go into a consolidation phase, but that level we can pretty much count on the USDJPY to go on to touch. And if we are confident enough, we can look for new trades, new long entries in the USDJPY, and for that these SMAs are going to be helpful. I think now that we have already seen significant up move in today's session, we should allow the USDJPY some breathing room, and if it goes into a consolidation phase and holds above this immediate swing high, these consolidation highs of around 109.6, we can be fairly certain that at least it will go on to rise toward these 200 SMA, which is there around 110. So for that, the risk reward ratio is also going to be good enough. We can keep the stop loss little below these 50 SMA, which is likely to catch up on the higher side in coming hours if the price action remains strong. If the USD JPY is able to hold closer to 110 level, in light of that, we can go for the new trades anywhere in the price band of 109.6 to 109.7. And on the higher side, as I said, the first target is going to work out closer to this 200 SMA, and only after the break above that we can target the prior swing highs of around 110.6 to thereabout. So that's my take looking at the current price formation of the USD If any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write to me in the feedback section, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risk associated with trading in the financial instrument, and one should be careful while utilizing the information provided. For further coverage of the market developments, you can follow our Lucoscopy Analytics page to start to trade. The JForex platform is at your service. We are also available on the Facebook. You can reach out to us there. Thank you all for joining in. Have a fabulous and profitable day ahead. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.